So where we are now, we're sort of just off the kitchen in the dining room area. I've got this massive big display unit cabinet just here that we been custom made, put together this ourselves. So this houses a lot of cassettes, records, box sets, 45s, all that stuff. So first of all, I've got one of the doors up here, for instance. A lot of these are record box sets, box sets of 12 to 6 albums in per one, all through the years. These are box sets for 45s. There's the smaller albums, of course. And then we have more 45s here. There's a cassette sets. There's a cassette box sets. Move back into some more record box sets. Elvis was the first singer to have a record box set. He was the first one to have it. Then we move into albums up here. So it starts off with Elvis's very first release. And Elvis was the very first debut album to ever go to #1. So when this album came out, it went to #1, it went gold. It was the very first debut album to ever achieve it at that time. It's probably been achieved since, but at that time, he was the first one. So it goes all through the 50s, then we move into the 60s, and once again with these albums, it's not just Australian releases, it's everywhere releases. So for a quick example, we have Fun in Acapulco. Now that's the one that everybody would have bought. And this is the rare one. There was only made a few of these covers here. So I'll track that one down as well. So I go for all that sort of stuff. Even if there was one word different, I still get it. So a lot of these records you might see 3 or 4 times the same album, but it's not the same album. It's from a different country. Move down to the 70s, through to here. Then we have, here we're called laser discs. Laser discs were like the very first DVD. So those who don't know, Laserdiscs is a big, it looks like a record, but it's actually a DVD. It plays both sides. They couldn't fit the show on one side, where a DVD is compact and it all fits on one. So I've got a lot of these Laserdiscs. They weren't a big hit, as people just couldn't afford to buy them. They were so expensive. Moving along a bit more, Elvis record player, because this is pretty fancy. Watch this. Look at that. It's even on the turntable. So the slip disc is actually Elvis himself on there. Beautiful touch. More records here. Now these are all bootlegs. Bootlegs means they did not be released on Elvis's label. It's on unofficial label recordings. Worth a lot to get Elvis bootlegs. Heaps of them there. Elvis Live. So all the official Elvis Live releases on here. This side over here. These are all the picture discs. These are quite attractive, these things. So they have Elvis's photo on the record. And I've got stacks of those, all different picture discs. So very, very nice to find. They look great on the turntable. Camden releases. Camden is a budget line for Elvis's company RCA, so those are Camden releases ones. Then we have the Christmas albums. This here is the world's biggest selling Christmas album. Nothing ever outside Elvis's Christmas album, the whole album. And it comes with a full photo album in there, about 12 photos from the Joe House Rock photo shoots. So that's the original one there. We have more. This are compilations from RCA. There's different mixes of Elvis songs. A lot of these came out after Elvis passed away. There's just dozens of them and dozens of them. Beautiful covers. They go all through the years. These are right back from the 50s, right through to where we are now, the 2000s. I'm still buying records today. In here, a lot of the 45s, or they're called EPs, extender plays. Stacks of these things. These two are the same just there. You probably picked up on that. So yeah, these go from the 50s and the soundtracks and the 60s and the 70s and the mixed stuff from the 80s and 90s. Japan releases as well. So once again from all over the world, and then we end off with more record box sets. I've got a lot of box sets, a lot of record box sets also in here. Now let's go to the bottom section. We have a lot of cupboards and drawers to go through here. Down here is just heaps of magazines, and they're all in their folders and all put away. There's just hundreds of them in there. Let's jump to the other doors. We'll get back to these in a second. On this side here we have lots of folders, and these folders, like in the video I mentioned, all these folders here are chock-a-block full of Elvis advertisements, posters, pin-ups. The list goes on and on. If you want to have a look in them, please let me know, and we'll do another video on what's in these pages. But trust me, there's heaps of them. And I've got folders twice the size of this, full of other stuff as well. There's just so much stuff in there to go through. On this side here, full of Elvis calendars all the way to the back. Now these calendars are from the 60s all the way to 2024. I get calendars every single year, and I've never missed a year. My favourite ones are the ones that are based back in the 70s and 80s, because now they print more pretty photos of Elvis in the studio and stuff like that. But back in the 70s and 80s, if Elvis been able to pick a weed out of the ground, they photographed it, that was in the calendar. They put anything in it. So I was back, there's some good old candid shots back in the early calendars. Now, down in these drawers down here, we have music cassettes. Lots of Elvis Presley cassettes, and there it is. Look at that, popped out. It wanted to be on video, so I jumped out. Stacks of cassettes. Looks like a lot. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, look, there's more. Color code, so I know where they are. Wonder if there's any more. Look, here's some more. And of course, we have some more. And this drawer here, this is full of all sheet music. Lots of sheet music in there. This is a poster for 1956 advertising all the original first. This is an original poster advertising the first merchandise, but I need to get it framed. It's an odd size. So the cassettes, you know, they've got some great covers on them. Like, look at that. You don't really see that anywhere. I got, once again, I can have 4 and 5 of the exact same cassette, but from different countries. So the covers are going to be different. And if you wonder what I'm kneeling on right now, this is Elvis himself on the floor. You can vacuum Elvis if you wanted to. So yes, that's my musical cabinet experience. So let's go to a different part of the house.